Welcome to another episode of We Are Where With Who. My name is Usman with Katie. And on today's episode, we're sitting down with Miguel Ducos, a emerging artist from Philadelphia, here to talk about his background, why he got into music, and share his story with us. Miguel, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here with us.
What's up?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me too.
Yeah, it's
Happy
great to
to
be
have
here.
you.
Yeah. So, as a way to get started, tell us why you got into music in the first place.
Oh, saved my life.
Really?
Yeah, no, yeah. I since I talk about it in my music, like I'll be honest when I talk about my music, if that like makes sense.
Yes.
Like it's in all truths, like 2019 stuff happened. Life was hard, and that's when I like decided I really wanted to chase this music career. But throughout my life, like my mom put me in the like church choir, drums. I was, playing instruments for my church and singing growing up. I was in chorus and band, and I always had an ear for like artistry. I grew up rapping with my friends, but every time I like wrote something, I listened to a beat, I realized it was like saving me from like exploding as like a bipolar like kid,
Yeah.
It's like I had moments where I was just like blowing up internally, and writing music literally calmed me down. It made me feel good, and it saved my life.
Wow.
That's amazing.
On some shit. So yeah.
It's definitely not something you're alone in, because it's definitely something that I can say I've experienced myself personally, where like I don't personally make my own music, but having, past experiences with anxiety and depression, the power that music holds, I feel like, people touch on, but it is so much more than maybe what people see at first glance.
Yeah.
Or
The emotion behind it, the story behind it, the why.
Absolutely.
It's like it's a little much sometimes, but yeah.
How do you, I guess, handle it? Is it the writing aspect of being able to like make music and write your thoughts down on paper that helps you with that process?
It's like a mix. I like get I get in the zone. Like I have my routine. Like I'm by myself in my room at home. I have my headphones in, and it'll be a mix of paper, on the phone notes, freestyling, recording myself. And like as that has gone, like just getting those emotions out when I'm writing about like an ex, or I'm writing through about, something I really want in life, like actually to like make it and really want more than just like the stage. What's the reason I want to make it? When I get in those moments by myself in that like in my room writing, now it's changed from saving my life. It's gone to just allowing me to pursue like life, like experiences. Like I want to be able to like be with friends, and I feel like music is the opening to that, and that's why I'm now doing that. And that's what it gives me. It gives me that like peace now, happiness, inspiration. So yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what it is that inspires what you're making personally?
Oh,
I'm sure that's a big question with a lot of answers.
it's life. It's like when I'm in a rut and I'm like, oh man, like I have like writer's block. It's probably because I haven't gone outside for a while. Yeah. Then I go out and do some stuff. Want to hang out with like this person, or I want to go see my family, or hang with my sisters. Because now as I'm getting older, I'm like, life is short. Yeah. And like I should be around my like family as I'm like pursuing the bag and working hard. Because like as we're getting older, like time to hang out, you can't do that as much. So, but yeah,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I guess with that, it's working, making music, finding time for that, as well as making sure you have time for family. How do you juggle that? It seems like a handful to make sure?
I don't do it too well.
Yeah.
I don't.
I like that you're honest.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because it's like sometimes my family's upset with me because I'm not there enough. Sure. And sometimes when I step back to go be with family, then my work takes a hit. Then when I'm doing all that, I feel like, oh, I'm not on my music as I should be. So then I'm like sad about that or upset about that.
Right.
But I've found, instead of going through the extremes of having to do this for a certain amount of time or like focusing on this, I'm starting to bring it back in the middle, where it's like maybe I'll do an hour of music in the morning when I'm up at like 5 to try and get it out before I get to work. So I can like fit that in with maybe planning with my family, like, all right, let me go see them like on a weekend after work. But sometimes it sucks though, because it's like duty calls, responsibilities. You have a startup, I have a startup company, and so then you are responsible for others that, like, as it gone, I'm like, oh shit, I'm responsible for other people, not just myself.
All right.
So sometimes you have to like decide, like, go hang out with mom for a little bit, or you have to go answer this person that's like, yo, where's my check? And you're like,
right.
Oh, sorry, mom. Like, I got to take care of this, you know? So that's something I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's interesting when I'm like how I'm handling that. Don't think I'm handling it well, but I'm figuring it out.
So
it's
more than half the battle.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. So yeah.
Is your family close by now?
Yeah. They're about an hour out the city, so it's not terrible like going to see them. But the thing is, like, life in the city, it's like everything is here almost.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So it's like that's the battle. Like, take an hour to go out there, then you have to spend that time, the transportation, and then you feel like you're losing on opportunities when you're out the city.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's something that like eats at me too. So it's like a constant like back and forth. So
Absolutely. Get that. Tell us a little bit more, talking about the opportunities in the city. We've had so many awesome artists on the show to talk about like the amazing opportunities throughout this city. Like, what would you say, are there any that you've really loved that you've had recently, or any that you're chasing right now?
I mean, opportunities I've loved is how, like, once you realize the industry, like, everyone's kind of like actually like open arms about it.
Yeah.
When you're like new in it, it's this weird, like, you don't know anything, but then you meet one person that sparks that fire, and then you're like, this opportunity opens, like, come hang out with this person, and you know, you go out and this person's DJing at this club, at this club, at this club, or at that. You meet this manager, you meet this bartender, you meet this and so forth person that you realize it's a deeper connected web. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then you get here and you're like, oh, everyone's been working at this place for like 5 years, and you get whacked in the head that over here helped this spot get open.
Yeah.
This person knows this owner over here does this. It's a lot.
Like the 6 degrees of separation thing, where it's like, this person knows that person, that person knows that person.
So I think it's cool. You definitely have, but it's a mindset though. You have to have a positive mindset, because I'll hear people say like the opportunities in Philly aren't a lot. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. So I see there's a difference, but I don't know.
What is that difference?
People will compare Philly to like Atlanta, New York, and LA, and they're like, the opportunities there, you know.
Yeah.
But I also look at like, well, there's more businesses opening up every day in the city of Philly. There's more artists coming out of here, like every other day, it feels like. And again, you just need to stage in your passion and your art. So I don't know. And again, with social media, you don't need to be anywhere else other than just have your phone. So it's not how it used to be. It's a whole new game.
True.
Very cool.
So.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your style when you're making tracks yourself? What does the process look like for you?
Random. Definitely what I'm feeling today.
No,
it's like
roll out of bed and figure it out.
Yeah. It's like I'll like if I'm super giddy, I'll try and like write about like just something really positive, and I'll go in that direction. If I'm like, yeah, I think I'm the best, I'll go in that direction.
Yeah.
If I'm in like storytelling mode, I'll listen to like storytelling artists and like get some inspiration from that and go into that. But I also kind of like, I feel like I genuinely like crack into like this flow where it's like, I just say, all right, whatever happens, whatever comes out, comes out. And that started, it's kind of like, it sounds weird, but it's like, that's how it works. I just let it flow, depending on the emotion, depending on if I want to go in a certain direction, I'll listen to the style I think I want to head towards, but it's really also just like cracking it open, saying, all right, whatever happens, happens. So.
I like that. Well, I guess what's been some challenges you've been facing so far trying to establish yourself in the music scene, especially in Philadelphia?
Myself, getting in my own head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the challenges can be like a lot. The challenges is like your own self. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, I would be upset because like I'd see this artist on this stage, right? And I'd be like, fuck, I can do that. Like, I know I can. I've done it before. I can do it again. But that's a very selfish, like, me. Like, that's just pure jealousy. It is. But that's, again, why it's like it's yourself. Like, that's the struggle trying to, like, make it. That's the struggle trying to just create your art. It's always yourself, because you'll compare yourself to this person, but this person's life is completely different than yours.
Yeah.
They came out of a different mom. Like, it's just that simple.
Right.
You know? So, and then also secrets. It's like, it is hard to like find information. So I definitely will say the city has its secrets though, but that's it.
That is true. And to your point earlier of everyone kind of knows everyone in the city of Philadelphia that's in the music industry, I think it's because it's so small. Like, the city itself is very, very small. And you can immediately find like one person that knows like half the people within the music industry, which I realized, like hosting events and playing events in the city, that everyone's connected to everyone in some way. And you kind of have to like walk on eggshells almost, just to make sure you don't step on anyone's toes, or make sure you don't wrong anyone in a negative way, because then that could come out negatively on you within the music industry in Philadelphia, and create less opportunities.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say. Like, Philadelphia is a great city. You do have opportunities here, but it can be, I guess, scary at times, not knowing where you're venturing to.
Yeah.
But it seems like you've paved the way for yourself to get through those hurdles, and it seems like most of it is due to your own like self, making sure you're confident, you're willing, pushing yourself further. Has there been any, I guess, mentor that has helped you at all along that journey, or has this been like self-reflection?
I think it's a mix of all.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely people around me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not me by myself. That's just facts. Like, like I have a team that's like very like hardworking. Mentors, it's everyone I meet, I guess. I take a little bit from everyone. You can learn from everyone.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has something to teach, and also I know people love to learn. Everyone loves to learn, like, because that's how we grow. So mentors would be like I guess people I'm working with now, with the events, the shows, especially other artists now that I'm like meeting. There's been a couple who've definitely given me some good advice, real good advice when it comes to like moving as an artist. Because like who you know, if you burn one bridge, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're saying, I was like thinking, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. Yikes. But yeah.
Would you mind sharing some of that advice that you've been given?
Consistency, again, don't burn bridges.
Yeah.
It's consistency, don't burn bridges. Be smart, but also realize that, like, no one likes someone that's like, it's all me.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've realized. When you start realizing that it's not all you, everything else will flow. The people who are like gatekeeping will start realizing that, not by you just saying that, but like by true action. So it's like, when you are out and about, be careful how you speak even. Like, you can believe in yourself, and you can be as macho or as strong or as confident and believe you're untouchable, but there's always someone stronger than you, someone always smarter than you, someone who knows more people than you at every event you go to.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that is a very big piece of advice that I learned, is to just humble yourself and don't burn the bridges. And keep on your consistent grind. Don't stop. Don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
Can you tell us a little bit more about who you find inspiration from in your music? Like, are there any specific artists?
A whole bunch.
Yeah.
Anybody in particular?
I think the obvious one would, if you were to listen to my music, an obvious one is Cole, Kanye, Travis. But then you get like the Spanish side, because I grew up in Puerto Rico. So Daddy Yankee, Wisin y Yandel, these reggaeton artists, Mark Anthony, salsa bachata. So it's a whole mix of like what I grew up on. Those are my inspirations. It's what I grew up on listening to, who got me through like the first sweet heartbreak up, when you're in high school and you're like, oh man, like I'm in 9th grade, I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, I thought I was going to marry her in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man.
That was it.
I was like, God, never again. But that, those artists definitely helped me.
Yeah.
But now it's like my inspirations are like who I'm listening to now. Like Nicky Raw, NXG, San, Matt Ox, like these guys are going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's seeing what they do, how they spit. It's like, yo, Deej, Neon Deej, Neon Ose, yeah, Mook. You have just all the artists on the underground sounds, off-record sounds. Like, if you just go there, you'll literally see 100+ artists who all are just working their ass off, who are actually not just spitting whatever.
Yeah.
If people want to like go off that, but I appreciate the different sounds and styles. So
Yeah. Off of that, do you find that your music, like, it takes kind of inspiration from growing up in Puerto Rico as well? Like, do you find that like you have a mix of more of like traditional rap sound mixed with that as well?
yeah, at first I strayed from it actually, because I was afraid to. In the U.S., you're when you came here, when I came here, speaking Spanish wasn't looked like very cool, if that makes sense. So like when it came to my music, I had this subconscious like, don't put Spanish in there, don't put Spanish in there, because like no one's gonna like it, no one likes that. But now it's like, nah, fuck it, nah, that's who you are, that's literally you, dude. Like stop, like just put it in there. So now, yes, the inspirations of like, and the songs I'm just speaking in Spanish, where I have a couple songs where I'm now starting to put out where it's also just full Spanish, a couple verses. So those are being integrated more for now. So yeah.
What I guess has been your happiest moment so far along this journey for you that you look back to and say like, wow, that was a good moment in time. I'm going to like frame that particular moment.
Shit. Dragonfly. Drexel's Dragonfly. Forever, like, it's the first one, bro. It's the first one. It was with Philly Creators. And what that meant at that moment for me was like, bro, what? You mean to tell me I got to get on stage and perform with all my best friends? Like, and we went stupid in front of like all those people. Like, that is just forever engraved in my head. And it's, then Flow Rider came. That was dope seeing. I was like, he's beef. He's a big dude. I was like, still could take him. But that was just cool seeing that. Like, that will forever be in my head. I wanted to replicate that moment for so long.
Mm.
Big mistake to do is replicating moments. That's
agreed.
Oof, I tried replicating a moment for so long, and then the rest is like I'm happier now than I was before.
That's good.
Like, everything that's happened since then, like, I gotta keep going. So so I'm good. Yeah, I'm happy.
That's amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it's like to be on stage?
It's for me, it's like my own little world. It's me. I just can spit my art, and it's just like you get to like be creative mode. You can do whatever almost. It's a high. It really is.
Is it like a light switch moment? So I know that for like some artists, even mainly like athletes, when they get on the field or onto a court, they put the light switch on like, oh, it's game time.
Yeah.
And become a different person completely. And then when they get off, they're back to who they are naturally.
Normal person.
Does that happen for you going on stage?
For sure. You see like the more like hype side of me.
Yeah.
Like that's not 24/7.
Yeah.
Like no. Like, I am very soft spoken most of the time. I'm not a like a I got visions and like constantly yelling. That's not me actually. I can get hype, but that switch does happen.
Yeah.
That's all the time. Yeah.
Was that something you like naturally picked up on? Because I feel like some people are almost born performers, and then other people it's something that it's like more taught. How did you feel about that?
I think it's the practice in like in the bathroom when you're in the shower and like when you're practicing. You know what I mean?
Shower concerts.
No, seriously, like that. Love
a shower concert.
That's the mode.
Nobody wants me to be on a stage, but
you got to put yourself on the stage.
I don't know about that.
No, seriously, it's that when I flip that switch, that I learned how to do that in the shower. Like I'm not. That's
it.
Everything that like a practice moment, right? In high school, middle school, I sat there in the shower and I was like practicing interviews and then practicing going on Q102, and I've done those things.
Yeah.
And that's like when you do that, when people do that and they're like, man, this is silly of me, man, I wish but you do that in the shower, you can do it. You can really go out like that. And so yeah.
I feel like that's more to your point about what you said, like people can be their own biggest critics.
Yeah.
It's definitely happened to me before. I'm sure the same for you. And
it has.
Yeah.
I think that's for like everyone. Everyone is their own biggest critic until they have someone that either they admire or maybe not even know, a stranger that comes up to them, sees something in them that they don't see them themselves, and just give them like a little like nugget of encouragement.
Yeah.
And that could go like a long way in the person's like day, their entire life, their mood for that moment could completely swing in a positive direction, which like I do love. Like if you could just make someone's day by saying something like sweet and kind, it just goes a long way of making them feel better. Not knowing like what's going on in their personal lives or how they're affected, just not knowing could change. And I love that. So whenever I can, I like try to do it myself for other people. Just knowing that it's been helpful for me, talking to strangers, hearing things like on social media, that just puts me in a better headspace for like a positive mindset, and helps me like attack the day, knowing that there could be a lot of things going on at one time. So I hear you in terms of like trying to juggle multiple things at the same time, family, music, work. It's daunting. And
just being an adult is daunting.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation with somebody today in my apartment complex where I was like, doesn't it just exhaust you to like have to do work and then be an adult and like run errands and do normal stuff like that? I mean, it's kind of mildly embarrassing, but I'm like, oh, I'm fully in bed 9 o'clock most nights. Like, I'm mildly sad.
I like sleep.
Sleep's important. I would
like
be
sleep.
way crankier if I didn't get my rest. But I mean, going back to something you said a little bit earlier in the interview when you were talking about like having a really good team behind you, there's so many different like facets to the artistry. I feel like you have like the importance of social media now and actually making your own stuff mixed in with all the stuff we talked about with like, I gotta visit my family, I have to do my other jobs like my startup. Are you managing most of this on your own? Do you have other people that are... No? We have a large group? Okay.
It's like my roommates, so I live with JJH, and him and I have been, I mean, we're brothers, known each other since we were kids, but he teaches me like that battery pack that people need. Like I see him work 6 days a week from 11 to 11. Like, and then he's up earlier, sometimes getting, doing more hours. But I pull from him like just fuck it mentality. You got to get it done. So he helps me with that. Joe helps me, who does the finances of TKO. I'm dumb as bricks. I'm not good with math. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, Sarah, who is the best networker I know, she is like the reason people can get into rooms you never thought you can be in. It's insane what she does. I don't know how to say what she does, but she's like a magician. Cam, he's the whiz behind, honestly, the little things of like coloring, the website that we're working on. He's the tech whiz. And then, NASA, that's the bulldog. He gets us all together. He keeps us on schedule. He got me to use a calendar for the first time in my life, like to really like use a calendar. And it's just like, oh man, I'm learning that at 26 to use a calendar. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is a team effort, because of them, like I'm able to do more, like in the sense of like artistry. I don't have to strain about 10,000 business things because it's split amongst us, and I think we have a pretty well-oiled machine. And ever since that team got built, I can look back and say like, oh shit, like stuff has like TKO. We do TKO Party on Broad Streets, and those shows have maintained and stayed. And at first, I wanted to do it by myself, and I was like, oh yeah, I could host a show monthly by myself and financially do it. Oh, it's totally easy. Yeah, for the down deposit and everything else, and then the door, and then the stage, and then the mic, and then the equipment, and then the promo, and then the posh website, the professional, like it's just all that I thought I could do. I got humbled so fast. And it's my team, thank God I have them.
Did you attempt to do it on your own and just struggle?
Yeah, I did.
So,
God, no. I attempted to. I'm stubborn as hell. I'm a very like, I'll do it, try and figure it out. But they helped me like plan and like figure out calendar stuff. I'm really not good with that. They really shine the light on that for me. So
it's like a left brain versus right brain kind of thing, where it's like you're not the math guy, you're not the calendar organization guy, you are the artistry side. Okay, that's sometimes how it works.
I just find it funny as hell sometimes. It's just like, because when people think they can do it themselves, like I get it because I was there.
Right.
And it's like sometimes I feel like I'm looking in a mirror or looking in a tunnel of like my past self, like 24, 23. If what I knew now, what I knew then, Like, you know, like
Yeah.
you can't do it by yourself. So
That's life. I feel like we all learn those lessons and you get
100%.
humbled real fast when you're like, I can handle this. This should be super easy, right? Right?
mm-mm.
No. No.
I love that. It's so true though. But seems like you're running an entire team. It reminds me of like what Jay-Z did, Diddy, running their own companies, maybe a record label as well. Do you envision yourself doing that like forever, or just focusing on the music and letting the rest of the team run like the company itself?
I think with what I want to do, like I have to do that.
Yeah.
It's more like when you use those guys, like studying them and like looking their actions, what they did. Thank God we have social media. Like the blueprint is a real thing. Like Jay-Z laying out the blueprint. Yeah. For an artist, especially now, like look at all the bigs. Look at OVO, Dreamville. We can go down the list of every big artist has a label, has a different company. They've invested in different things. They have partnerships with magazines, people who help write vlogs. You have to do it. Because I don't think there's, if I'm wrong, but I really don't think there's anyone who's made it and doesn't have something else outside of music that's like a business venture. Like from clothes, stuff like that, all that. So yeah.
That's good.
Are there any other avenues creatively that you see yourself kind of going into?
I want to try acting one day.
Yeah?
I'm so serious. I want to like try and be like in a funny like movie, like a bunch of funny movies. I think I could like do those, like be an awkward bit. But that comes from like trying to build together music videos, because I like looking at myself and looking like, oh, like you could put the emotion in your face and this and that, and seeing the feedback from the videographers. I'm like, oh shit, like this is fun. Like what if like maybe one day I just picked up a script and I can remember a couple lines. Like
True.
I'm not saying to chase a big role, but I could be a good backup act. So I want to try that one day.
Be on the red carpet next year.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Golden Globes, baby.
Yeah. Gonna have some major award.
Would you want to go on as like Miguel, like people know who you are, or would it be more of like a character you're playing?
Myself.
Yeah.
Because like that's why I wanna. Everything I do, I kind of want it to be like when you look at Shaq.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if Shaq's in a movie or Shaq's playing ball or Shaq. That's Shaq.
It's Shaq.
So I kind of Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Kind of want to go that route. Yeah.
Anything else on top of the acting? You mentioned Kanye, and I automatically go to clothes when I think of him.
Definitely, we kind of already. Something might be in the works for clothes in the future.
Okay.
Something might. It's just more of like what direction to like head towards. We've partnered with a couple people, like Arden Mods, 570. He does clothing, and doing a TKO collab with his company might be in the works in the future. So that's something we can bring to life sooner than we really thought. I didn't think like clothes would be this soon. I'm like in 10 years. But then one day we had a meeting, and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have clothes with our logos and shit on it. And then
yeah, that's awesome. Can you talk a little bit more about like what the TKO project is?
I feel like it's like the solution to like the gatekeeping. It's like a signal in Philly that says, if you're an artist, come here to these spots and these rooms, you have a higher chance of meeting the person that you might need. Not from us, but because of who we could potentially like help guide into the room, that might like help make it a little easier for people to like see if they want to like perform.
Right.
Like we're doing the open mics. I mean, we've put on more than 65 artists on the stage, like, or at least from the 16 Party on Broad Streets, and then now we're doing the K2 Sundays. TKO we'll be a label one day. We'll be able to help our artists. We'll be able to say, like, you're not going to get a 180 deal. It's all 50-50 what we do. So that's the thing. It's like, that's what we want to change. TKO is the fact that we can help really actually get you on the stage without it being how it was from the old. I wholeheartedly think the old way of business and music should be shot dead. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, there are a couple of companies I'm not going to say, but, like, coming up, like, ooh, what do you mean, like, down depositing, ooh. Anyways, yeah, just want to do it a better, easier way, and an actual, like, human way, not just business. So
yeah,
I like that.
We've had some recent conversations with other artists on the show about how just the industry seems like it's changed so much.
Yeah.
Like, just from even, like, when we were young kids to where it is now, whether that's, like, people going and signing a major record label deal versus, like, can you just put it out on your own? Do you have the means to do that on your own? It seems like it's so much easier to do that now in today's, like, climate.
I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
I feel like it is both.
Versus, like, we were even talking about, like, the music videos, and, like, the importance of, like, music videos don't seem like they're as much of a thing, which I'm really upset about personally, because I love a music video. And
it's interesting to see how, I guess, over time the music industry has evolved. I think you are seeing a lot more artists take your route of going the independent avenue rather than, like, relying on a label to grow their career, which I think is very, very encouraging to see now, especially for future artists, knowing that, hey, I don't need to be signed to a record label to make it. Yes, it will be nice and helpful to grow my career a little bit faster, but I could do everything, I guess, myself or build a team around me to help me do it. Whether that's, like, going on social media, making sure I have the right connects to get me indoors that I never necessarily would be able to in the past. I think it's good to see that now, that shift, because then now it's, now it's on the record labels to change themselves and adapt to what emerging artists are doing. So hopefully we get to see that move.
The record labels adapting themselves. Yeah. That's something I was arguing with someone like 2 days ago about. Yeah. Because we were like, there's a company out there that that you can get on and, like, freestyle on, and they work with more label artists, but the label artists, like, the labels are now looking for, and the reason I'm saying this because my opinion is based off, like, yo, I want to be on this John, like, because I can spit, but then I get told, like, no label, your engagement isn't this and that or this and that, and it's just like, then are you a label for the music or is it just the business? Because like, I do have that competitive side of me because I do rap, and I'm like, if I'm gonna talk my shit, like, I'm gonna cook y'all. Put me on, give me the mic, I'm gonna cook it. Just let me do my thing. And it's just like, but that isn't looked for no more. I feel like the labels need to change because they really just don't. Like, the rise of Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Holy shit. From 2021 to 2022, her rise is insane.
Yeah.
You thought I was feeling you? That, like, what? That is the greatest quote of our generation right now. You thought I was feeling you? Grah! No. Like, that's insane. That's like, and that was a label pushing her.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me if she didn't have a label or the money behind it, I don't know if it would go to the success it did. I don't know if to the level it is now. Would it get there? I'm not going to say it wouldn't, because, I mean, she still did it. She still put in the hours, still networked, still went out, still went to the physical space herself to be able to shake hands with the people you need to do that with. But the labels are just sometimes pushing what's catchy versus what's a storytelling like album, what's a storytelling music video. It is the 15 seconds of like, is this just gonna hold your attention? I don't care what it is. Is it just gonna hold your attention?
Yeah.
So that's what's as an independent artist, it upsets me because it's like when you have the connections who can talk to the labels and you talk and you're having back and forth conversations of like, what's the next step you can take? It's you will face that realization that the labels just make it easier because they have the connection. It is just a loan.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just a loan. And so just labels do need to change. Because it's getting also at the same time, we can just put it up on TikTok and get 10 million views for nothing.
I'm like, now I'm finding a lot more artists because of TikTok and like Instagram Reels, because they're making their own content online and plugging their own music. I could just go to the song, listen to the song, maybe be like 15 to like 30 seconds. But I listen to it, if I like it, what I'm hearing, then I go listen to the full song, whether that be on Spotify or Apple Music. And that's how right now I'm finding like new artists because of the content. It's not necessarily like record labels pushing songs via like, I guess, Apple Music or TikTok, and that being on a playlist.
Yeah.
For me to like discover artists is mainly just because of like social media and content.
Yeah.
For me. And I think, like you mentioned, independent artists are just going that route completely because they know that they don't have the numbers that record labels are looking for, whether it be the following, the engagement level, and it's difficult to get that in the beginning when you first start. But you know that you're talented. You just need to be given the opportunity to showcase your talent, and most labels don't want to put in a additional effort to get you to where they want to then continue moving forward.
Which is like, it's
there's no development aspect of it.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That used to be a thing, but it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what's next for you?
Just continuing. Music.
Yeah.
I really think 2024 is going to be that year. Every day I'm getting up, I'm like hungrier and hungrier for just what I see in my head.
Yeah.
Because I'm like looking at what I want to do with my life for the rest of my life. I want music involved. I want to see the world. I want to tour. So what's next for me is singles, pushing, and just getting out there, trying to get myself out there more. Whatever I can do, that's it.
That's awesome.
Are there any big stages that you really want to cross off your list?
Oh, the link.
The link?
Well, like one day before I die,
yes,
I'll be at the link performing. I know I will. One way or another, that's going to happen. Like, not MSG. No, my MSG is Wells Fargo. Like, that's what I'm telling you. I want to do that. Yeah. I want to be on the bill with Power 99, Meek Mill. One day I want to see my name. Meek Mill, Uzi, Miguel Ducos. Like, I want to see that.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
Is that your I made it moment? Or is something else that you've been thinking about? It's like, okay, I've made it now.
It's when I'm able to take my mom to Greece. I've been telling her this since I started. I was like, I'm gonna take us to Greece. It's just me and her. But that's gonna be like, I made it. Because the stages and stuff and the music is cool, but I feel like that's something, like I was doing that before I got to a certain point.
Yeah.
So like, I made it for me will be like when I'm able to like take my mom to Greece, and like because of the music though. That for me will be that. So well, I'm a mama's boy. So.
We love it.
So
I guess 2 final like questions before we let you go. What's the best advice you've been given, whether that's personally or musically, that you like to share with others? And then I guess one piece of advice that you were given and you realized that it maybe had been a terrible piece of advice that you kind of like stray people away from if you hear it.
Trust your gut is the best piece of advice I've been given. The worst piece of advice I've been given is to listen to others. And I know that sounds stupid because it's like, you know, if all your best friends are telling you stop smoking, you should probably stop smoking.
Yeah.
But if everyone's telling you to do this a certain way, do your art a certain way, fuck that. Yeah. Like it's your life, it's your art. Don't do it for anybody else, because if that's how it started, keep it that way. Like, keep it that way. The worst piece of advice, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I swear.
Can't follow the crowd.
That's true.
You don't want to lose sight of yourself in following the crowd.
It's not even like honestly, it's really not even trying to like say don't follow the crowd, but it's just like people should just trust themselves a little more. That's it. Yeah. Like if I can get anything across, it's like, dude, just go do it. Whatever you want to do, go do it. Like a lot of people are just like thinking about it, second guessing it. No, that thing you want to do, be it this week, this month, this year, actually fucking do it. Just go out and get it. You can. Stop telling yourself you can't.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's a good piece of advice. Well, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
This was an amazing interview. I appreciate everything that you had to share. And final question is there anything that you can tell us, any fun projects, anything coming up that you're able to share with us? I know you said a little bit about the clothing that may or may not be a thing, but what else is Miguel Ducos working on?
Singles. I'm going to focus on singles in the beginning of 2024. I just released my album, Be Thankful I Made It, 2 months ago. I want that to like sit. I want people to listen from start to finish, headphones in or in the car by yourself. There's a story there, and I want people to digest it and listen to that. So, yeah, that's it.
Amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
We're looking forward to 2024 being your year, too.
Yeah.
We'll have you back, probably with Shaq. Maybe with Shaq. He'll be right there.
Shaq Diesel. No, it's going to happen one day.
Yeah. Shaq, he probably wouldn't fit in a chair, to be honest.
Honest to God, no, he wouldn't.
He's like, what, 7'2", 7 something?
I love the fact that he's actually DJing now, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of lit.
Yo.
He's pretty good, too.
Rapping again?
Yeah.
He's rapping again. Like, he gave a couple, he co-signed a couple heads like a couple months ago. Like, he's co-signing people left and right, giving out verses. Holy, he's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's one thing I do love. I think you can have your one passion and then find a new passion. I feel like people are he's one of those individuals who transition like every 10 years to like something new, and then focus that entire decade on that one particular thing, and just develop an entire like elite skill at it, whatever he's doing. And then when he gets tired of doing that one thing, he just moves on to the next thing. Yeah. So that's the one thing I do love.
Yeah. What, Papa John's?
I was going to say, I just saw him on a Papa John's commercial a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does everything.
Oh, God.
I love it.
I don't think there's anything that man can't do.
No, he
truly.
Can't. No. But, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, guys.